All right. Everybody lined up, Terry? Everybody good on the driver's stand? All right, 10 minutes, guys. Here we go. Keep it smooth, clean, and easy. Corner marshals ready. Drivers, less than 5. And we're off. Uh-oh, a little squirrely on the start there. You guys got to work on them starts. Have to get some tire saws. We got trouble in 3 and 4. Looks like Scott Leftwich is having some problems, like his motor quit or something. Tough break. All right, here we go. 7-1 for Allred. 7 flat for Eddie Butcher. 7.06 for Ricky. John with 06. Keith Allred with an 05. Eddie with an 09. Butcher, Ricky with an 07. John with an 09. Rick Coffey with a 1. David Reese with a 2. Jody up with a 1. Scott Leftwich having some problems. Tough break for Scott. Good run today. 06 for Butcher out front. Uh-oh. Allred. 6.996. Eddie Butcher out front with an 08. Ricky with a 1. John with an 06. Rick Coffey with a 1. David with a 1. Jody with a 1. And Allred with an 02. Ricky. Uh-oh. John Jones dropped back to second with Ricky moving out to that number 1 spot. Coming across the stripe. Ricky with an 02. John with an 08. Rick with an 02. David with a 1. Jody with a 1. Allred with a 1. Eddie Butcher broke out. 6.999, Eddie. Ricky with a 1. Comes across the stripe with a 1. John with a 1. Rick with a 1. David Reese with an 07. Jody with an 09. Keith with an 07. Eddie Butcher with an 07. Back out front, it's Ricky with a 1. John Jones with a 1. Rick with an 08. David with a 1. Jody with a 1. Keith with an 08. Eddie with an 09. Back out front, it's still Ricky with an 09. John with an 09. Rick with an 08. David with a 1. Jody with a 1. Allred with a 1. And Eddie with a 1. Whoo! Too many O's, guys. 07 for Ricky. 1 for John. 1 for Rick. 2 for David, 1 for Jody, and 09 for Keith Allred, and 1 for Eddie Butcher. It is Ricky Pernoodle out front. Second time he's been to the racetrack. Looking strong today. Ricky Pernoodle out front with a 7-1. John Jones with an 08, Rick with an 05, David with an 09, Keith with an 06, Jody with a 1, Butcher with a 1. 09 for Ricky, John with a 1, Rick Coffey with a 1, David Reese with an 06, Keith with a 1, Jody with a 1, Eddie with a 2. Here we go. It's 7-1 for Ricky out front. John with a 1. Rick with an 06. David Reese with an 07. Keith Allred with a 1. Jody with a 1. Eddie with a 1. Ricky out front with a 1. 07 for John. 08 for Rick. David with an 02. Keith with an 07. Jody with a 1. And Butcher with a 1. 7:30 to go, guys. It's Ricky out front with a 1. John with a 1. Rick Coffey with a 1. David with an 08. Keith with an 03, Jody with an 07, Butcher with an 01, backs it up with a 1. It's still Ricky out front. 7-1 for Ricky, 7-1 for John, 05 for Rick Coffey, David Reese with a 1, Keith with an 06, Jody with an 03, and Eddie Butcher with an 08. 3 down, 7 to go, guys. Ricky out front with an 09 that time by. Backs it up to an 07, John with a 1, Rick with a 2. David with an 08, Allred with an 06, Jody with a 05, Eddie with an 08. Ricky out front with a 1. He's got a half a second lead. No, excuse me, 5/10 of a second lead over second place of John Jones. And Rick Coffey is 2/10 behind John Jones. So it's 7:04 for Rick. John with a 1, Rick with a 1. David with an 06, Keith Allred with a 1, Jody with a 1, and Butcher with a 1. 7:08 for the leader. Backs it down to a 7-1. Jones with a 1. Rick with a 1. David Reese 09. Keith with a 1. Jody with an 08. And Eddie with a 2. Your leader out front. Ricky. Uh-oh. What happened? Ricky still out front. John Jones dropped back to third. Rick Coffey took over at number 2 spot now. Rick heading to the front. We have 6 minutes to go, guys. It's Ricky out front with Rick in second with an 05. Ricky out front with a 2, backs it up with an 08. Rick Coffey with a 1, Jones with a 2, David Reese with a 1, Allred 1, Jody 1, Butcher 1. Comes across the stripe again with an 08. Rick Coffey with a 1, John Jones with a 1, David Reese with a 1, Keith, Jody, Eddie, 1, 1, 1, down the board. Back out front, Ricky running with a 1, Rick Coffey with a 1, John Jones with an 07, David with a 1, Keith with an 09, Jody with a 1, Butcher with a 2. 5:30 to go, guys. It's the black car out front of Ricky. 7-2 last time by. Rick Coffey with a 1. That's Rick with the yellow car. Down the back straightaway they go. Coming off a 4. It's Ricky out front with an 07. Rick Coffey with an 08. Jones with a 1. David with an 06. Keith with an 08. Jody with a 1. And Eddie with a 5. Halfway, guys. 5 down. 5 to go. Whew, we still got a lot of racing left. Tough break, Scott. Ricky with a 1. Rick Coffey with an 07. John with a 1. David with an 06. Keith with an 06. Jody with an 09. And Eddie Butcher with a 2. Ricky out front with a 1. 2/10 of a second lead over Rick Coffey. They go down the backstretch into 3. It's Ricky coming across the stripe. 09, Coffey, 05, John, 06, David, 07. Keith Allred with an 08, Jody with a 1, and Butcher with an 07. 4:30 to go. It's just riding it out now, boys. Waiting for that clock to expire. Ricky out front with a 1. Uh-oh, Rick Coffey has passed the front. Something happened to Ricky. Uh-oh. 6.999 for Ricky. Rick Coffey now your leader with a 7.09. John with a 7.04. David Reese with a 1. Allred with a 1. Jody with an 06. Ricky with a 2. And Butcher with an 09. 4 minutes to go, guys. Tough break for Ricky Cernodal out front. Not bad for your second race, though, my friend. Rick Coffey out front with a 1. John Jones with a 1. Rick's got 8/10 over John. John now heading back to the front. David Reese right there now 2/10 behind John Jones. So it's Rick Coffey out front. 7-1. John Jones with an 07. David Reese 04. Keith 07. Jody with a 1. Ricky with an 04. Butcher with an 05. 3:30 to go, guys. The yellow is number 11 out front of Rick Coffey, 07. John Jones, 08. David Reese, 09. Keith with a 1. Jody with an 06. Ricky with an 06. And Eddie with a 1. All right, it looks like there's 9/10 separating first and second. 1/10 separating second and third. David Reese, the man on the move right now. That is the yellow and blue car coming off of 4, coming across the stripe. Rick Coffey, uh-oh, something happened to Reese. Oh, Rick Coffey. John Jones now is your new leader with an 05. Allred in second with a 1, up with a 1. Ricky Cernodal back up to second with an 02. Rick Coffey had a breakout. Eddie Butcher with an 09. David Reese with an 08. Tough break for Rick Coffey and David Reese. Hey, there's still a shot because some of these other guys have broke out too. All 6 or 7 cars is on 62 lap pace, or 62 laps. John Jones out front with a 7-1. Keith Allred with a 7.09, up with a 1. Cernodal with an 02. Eddie with an 09, David with an 06, and Rick with a 1. 3.9 seconds separating first and second. 4/10 separating second and third. John Jones with a 1. Allred with a 1. Up with an 06. Ricky with an 07. Eddie with a 1. David with an 09. Rick Coffey just broke out again. Ricky, click the trigger on it. He said, the heck with it. 2 minutes to go, guys. He got a good run going. It's still John Jones out front with a 1. Keith Allred in second with an 07. Jody up with a 1. Eddie Butcher with an 06. David Reese 07. Ricky. Uh-oh, Ricky. Broke out. Rick Coffey broke out. All right, we got 1:30 to go, guys. It's still your leader, John Jones, heading down the backstretch. Into 3, up off of 4. 7-1. Allred with a 1. Up with a 1. Butcher with an 08. Reese with a 1. Cernodal with an 03. Rick Coffey with an 07. 1:15 to go. John Jones with a 1. Keith Allred with a 1. Jody up with an 01. Eddie Butcher with a 1. David Reese with an 07. Ricky with an 04. Rick Coffey with an 07. 9 down. 1 to go, guys. 9 down. 1 to go. Your leader down the back straightaway, being hounded by David Reese. It's John with a 1. Keith Allred with an 03. Up with an 02. 2/10 separate second and third. That's for second. Going into 3. Up off of 4, guys. 45 seconds to go. 7-1 for Jones. Allred with an 04. Up with an 03. Butcher with an 08. Reese with an 09. Ricky with a breakout. And Rick Coffey with a breakout. Jody Utt has caught the second place car. 30 seconds to catch him and pass him. He is pushing the envelope. 7-1 for John Jones. 1 for Keith Allred. Allred with an 01. Uh-oh. Utt with an 01. Allred dropped him back. And Allred broke out. 7-1 for John Jones. Up with an 06. Butcher with a 1. Reese with an 09. Keith Allred broke out again. Oh, tough break for Keith. Ricky with a 7 flat. Rick Coffey broke out. Finish a lap your own, guys. David Reese, you're done. John Jones, you're done. I saw some strategy racing there, guys. That was cool. Ricky, you have not finished. Oh, you broke out on your last lap, too? All right. Winning the race, John Jones with an 84.